Hey guys, this is Ron Douglas. I'm here with Alice Seba. Hey Alice.
Hey guys.
And today, our guest today is a guy I've known for a long time, a good friend of mine, one of the true good guys in this industry, honest to God. I mean, I've been to his house, I've met his kids and his wife, and he's just a good guy, always willing to help people, very, very knowledgeable. And I believe he's one of the most underrated internet marketers in the industry. This guy's been around a long time. He's worked with all of the top gurus. He's a public speaker. He speaks from the stage. But what he's cracked the code on, and what I'm especially excited about, is a process for using Amazon, selling physical products on Amazon.com and leveraging their network to create recurring income. And we're going to try to pick his brain on that. And he also has a more formal training session, a webinar scheduled with us later on tonight. And we're going to be posting that for everybody watching the recording of this. We're going to be posting that in our members area for you guys to watch later on as well. So with that said, let me turn it over to my good buddy Greg Cesar. What's up, Greg?
Oh, I lost you there for half a second. I think you turned it over to me.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Just wanted to say hi and welcome you guys. My name is Greg Cesar, and we're going to have some fun today, and hopefully we can give you guys some good advice and teach you some good things.
Yeah. We were just talking right before this, and Greg has this nice background. It looks like the Oval Office or something, but he has these boxes over on the right. You can see there, and it looks kind of messy. I'm like, your background looks perfect except for these boxes. He's like, hey, man, those are shipments. Those are orders, right? Those are shipments to Amazon that, so it's very applicable with what we're talking about. So he gets a pass on the mess.
Yeah, that's actually money over there.
Yeah, man. I wish I had some money in the background. I don't have no money in the background, man. I need some of that.
But the boxes are brown and they go with the decor too. It kind of blends in.
Yes.
Good. Yes, looks good. So we were talking to you too before, and you want to give us a little bit about your background. You've been kind of online or doing online things since about 1997, right?
Yes, I started off consulting local businesses around 1997-98 time frame, and around 2002, I said, you know what, I want to start selling products online, because if I could sell products, then I can get more consulting clients, because my idea was, let me go to a business and I'll say, hey, don't hire that guy. What is he or she selling? How can they help you build your online business if they're not selling anything? So that was the only reason I wanted to sell products online. Well, it so happened that I started selling so many products that I was far surpassing what I was making consulting. It didn't make sense to spend as much time working with them because I was only working a few hours a week and moving, at some cases, 100 units a day. Could you imagine sitting at home doing nothing and you're making 100 sales a day selling products on the internet? So since then, I've sold over 100,000 products online without affiliates. If I include affiliates, I'm in the neighborhood of 120,000, and I've sold products in probably 100 different countries. And I'll be honest with you, in my wildest dream, I just never thought that when I started, I never envisioned that's where it was going to go. But as you learn and you grow, you do more and you do more. And so transitioning to Amazon was really easy. So I transitioned from offline to online, and then I went from online to now we're also incorporating selling on Amazon. And I'm just selling the same information I've sold before. We're just now selling them on Amazon as well, which also I didn't think was possible, and it's a beautiful thing finding out that it is.
Do you sell those products that you put on Amazon? Do you sell them independently as well, or it's just on Amazon?
Oh, yeah. So the products, and that's the thing I tell folks is when you look at what you want to sell on Amazon, it's good to pick a market where you can sell it on Amazon, you could sell it off Amazon, because typically when you have a good seller, you can sell it on Google, you can sell it on YouTube, you can sell it on eBay, you can sell it on Etsy, you can sell it on Amazon. Most people, they get so stuck on the one thing, like they may be doing eBay and they think, that's all I'm going to do. Well, if it's a good market there, why would someone on Amazon not buy it? So I like looking at things that I could sell everywhere. Specifically, if it's selling on Kindle, you better believe it could sell on the other side of Amazon also.
Right, exactly. And that's what I thought when Ron told us what you were doing. I was like, what? What do you mean? Like information products?
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was talking about regular products, and I'm like, our writers don't want to know about that. But he said, no, information.
Yep.
Yeah, nobody is doing that. I never heard of that before Greg told me about it. And you know, Greg's one of these guys that has just made money so many different ways on the internet. He just has a core selling philosophy that he can apply to all of these different markets and make a lot of money. I mean, the guy's cracked the code on Google AdWords. He used to be the AdWords czar. He used to have he had a hosting business. This guy has like 1,000 different hustles, but he just knows how to jump into something, analyze it, figure it out, and before you know it, he's turning it into recurring monthly income. And that's exactly what he's now done with Amazon. How long have you been working with Amazon with the physical products? How long have you been doing this?
I started July 2014. And to tell you the truth, how I got started then, I already had an Amazon account, but I wasn't doing anything with it. I was probably a little scared. And I was at a picnic, and a friend of mine came over, and his 8-year-old daughter, he told us, was making $30 a day on Amazon. And man, did that burn me. I said, man, if she could make $30 a day, there's no reason I can't do this. So in July, I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I sent my first product in August, and within 24 hours, I made my first sale. And I said, oh, yeah, this is going to work. Within 2 months, I was making over $2,000 a month on Amazon.
Within 2 months?
Yeah.
Jeez.
You know, making money is not hard. It's certain principles that you just have to understand, right? There's a reason why entrepreneurs keep having more and more success. You know, if you hear people say, oh, the rich keep getting rich, it's not that the rich keep getting rich. It's people who understand certain principles keep doing the same principles, and you keep getting the same type of results, right? If you don't know those principles, how can you succeed? How can you have success? And the formula is very simple. You find what people want and you give it to them, right? If you're trying to sell something and they aren't buying it, they don't want it. You cannot invent demand. You cannot create demand. So one of the things I've been really, really good at is let me find what they want. And if they want it, I could sell it. And so it's very easy to make money when you start off that way.
You said you could share some like niche research tips with us too, like how do you find out where people want to buy stuff? Because I think for us, a lot of our writers love to write, and they want to write about what they want to write, and that kind of part is often missing. That they'll make the content first and then hope that somebody's going to like it.
Yep. So there is your passion. Okay. So most people start with the passion, and sometimes the mistake is you may be the only person who's passionate about it. So you can't make money that way. So for me, when I look at a market, I start with are people looking for it? So I may go into Google, I may do some keyword research to see how many people are actually looking for this product. And if I see a lot of people are, an example might be 10 to 20,000 people a month are searching on Google for this particular product. Then the next thing is, are they willing to spend money? See, I don't know if they're willing to spend money. They may have a problem they're searching, but it's not something they're willing to spend money on. And that is the one piece you absolutely don't want to guess on, because you spend your time putting something together only to find out nobody's willing to spend money. So one of the easiest ways to test if people are willing to spend money, there's somebody else selling a similar product successfully. And for me, I like to look at people who are spending money selling a product. So in other words, if this person is advertising a similar product and they've been doing it consistently, you know, months or years at a time, they're either crazy or they're making money. And if this guy sold 10,000 units, why can't I sell 10,000 units? And then the other piece about that is I can easily look at what they're doing and do the same thing. So guess what they did for me? They cut my process down. You know, I always tell people you want to go into a market where there's competition. Most people say, I want to go where there's zero competition. And the number one reason you want competition is so you can copy. Let that person do all the work for you, and you come in and say, okay, they're doing this, 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 and this, so I'm going to do this, 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 and this. I don't have to guess. So that's how you can get to making money very quickly, is you model after what's already working.
Right, and you could piggyback it and tweak it and do it a little bit different or a little bit better, find some way to compete and do it better and more appealing to customers than they're doing it.
Absolutely. You carve your niche in a working market already.
Yeah, don't try to sell ice to Eskimos. You know, you got to be an exceptional salesperson to do that, right?
Yep.
You don't even have to be exceptional to sell gloves and scarves to Eskimos, right?
You know, like I say, you know, I don't want to be the guy who invented the iPad, but I would sure be the guy who created the Kindle, right? Because Apple had to convince people they needed a tablet PC. Mm-hmm. Jeff Bezos came out and said, well, they just sold 60 million iPads. I think we can create one, right? So Apple spent all of the money and all of the, you know, the research, and Jeff just came in and copied that market and sold millions of Kindles. So I'd rather be that guy than the guy who created the market.
And made it apply for their books and created a whole
absolutely
marketplace, which was brilliant.
Absolutely.
So what do you do, though, like to stand out? Because if you're worried about this competition, and like, why would somebody go buy something that is already out there, people already know about?
All right, so competition, again, not a bad thing. Competition is great. But when someone clicks on your product, competition doesn't exist at that moment. You know, I've heard people say, well, I can't go in the weight loss space. There's so many competitors in there. Well, competition just means what is it going to cost you to find the customer? If there's 1 million competitors, it just means you have to pay a little bit more to be seen. But once that person is in your listing, once they're reading your sales copy, competition doesn't exist. Now, then it becomes math. So if you're paying $1 for the person to see your message, can you afford to pay $1 for them to see your message versus 20 cents? Well, it depends on what you're selling your product at. If you're selling a product for $3, you're not going to pay $1 for them to see your message. Just means you've got to charge more to sell your product. Now, how do you stand out on Amazon? One of the things I've done is I'll create what we call a kit. And for me, a kit is just nothing more than multiple products in a package. So look at, you know, I like to use the example of an apple or a gift basket, right? Which one of those two things would you pay $30 for? Who pays $30 for an apple? Nobody. Well, who pays $30 for a gift basket? Look at Harry and David. Those guys are selling gift baskets for $75. So what did they do? They just took one apple and put 15 of them in the basket. So if you create a kit, let's say it's an information product, and let's say it's going to be on a CD, don't just do one CD. Put 5 CDs in the package. Guess what that does? It makes your product stand out on the page. Your product looks better. So now not only are you found, but people are saying, well, I'd rather get that one. It's a complete kit. Because when people buy something, they're not just buying one thing, especially in an information product. I mean, Ron, Alice, how many products have you purchased in the internet marketing space?
Countless every year, thousands and tens of thousands of dollars worth of products.
Right? I bought things on list building. I bought things on traffic. I bought things on, you know, internet marketing. What if there was a package that had all of them in one? Who wouldn't buy it, right? So everyone is selling just the little pieces, but if you put it all in one, the consumer says, okay, I'm willing to pay more money for that because it's got everything that I'm looking for. So when you look at your product, think about how I can create a kit, or just take your one big product and break it down into smaller pieces so that it looks like they're getting something really big.
That's a great.
Do you have to do the delivery yourself, or, you know, when you're selling the information product kits?
No. So what I do is, now you can, but, you know, I didn't want to go to the post office every morning and have to wait in line to ship product. So what I do is I use what's called FBA, Fulfilled by Amazon. So all I have to do is ship a box of my product to Amazon. Amazon puts them on a shelf, and when a customer buys, Amazon mails the product for me. So a couple weeks ago, I was just on the marketer's cruise, and we probably sold 150 units that week. And I was in the middle of the ocean, and my business was still running because Amazon was doing all the work for me.
Beautiful. That's passive income right there. You're enjoying life.
Absolutely.
Yep.
As far as the media goes on what you put into the product, what is it? You do CDs, you do what else?
Oh, it could be anything. It could be CDs. It can be a DVD. We're going to get ready to test using USB jump drives with the content on it. It can be posters. It can be what we call cheat sheets. It could be anything. So the thing that I don't like is books. Now, a book by itself just doesn't have the same value as a CD. I've taken, and people ask me, well, what about downloadable? And I've taken some of the downloadable Kindle content we have that we're selling for $2, $3. All I did was take the exact same content, repurpose it as an audio, and that same exact content is now selling for $25 to $30. I couldn't get $30 for a Kindle product. It just wouldn't happen. But because I've repurposed the format, I can get a whole lot more.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we've been telling about the training that you're going to do tonight is that's what it is. Like you can sell it for way more per sale than you could on Kindle, and it could essentially be the same content.
Identical content, just in a spoken format.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And people have assign a value in their mind based on the type of product it is. So you think book, you think, okay, $10, $15, but if I say $90 book, you're like, I can't pay $90 for a book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you take that same exact content, switch the format up, call it a home study course or something like that, then the mind's like, okay, how much would that cost? Like, what are you compare it to other home study courses and things you've bought, and they could range, $200, $1,000, $500. You don't really put a price on it, but it's definitely more than a book.
I'll give you a perfect example. There's a market that we're going after right now, and I've got some content being created. And I went on Amazon. I said, okay, let's see what people are selling in the books for this particular content. And the average price was between $14, maybe $19. Then I went into one of these websites where you can buy online courses. And I found someone who exact same content, right? One guy was $47, another guy was $97 for the exact same content. Only difference was one was all in a course format, and on Amazon it was in a book format. So
exactly, that's a perfect example. Same thing. So you want to repurpose your stuff to have the maximum profitability as possible. And a
Absolutely.
book or ebook, especially an ebook, man. You think of ebooks, they're giving away ebooks, they're selling ebooks for 99 cents. So ebooks are like a home run game. It's like you either have a really, really good one and you hit a home run, or you have a lot of them and you're hitting little singles and they add up.
Yep.
But with the type of products you're talking about, you could have one that's generating a lot of passive income every month for you because you're able to charge a lot more for it, and you need a lot less sales. If you have something that's selling for $100, you only need 10 sales to get $1,000 a month off of it.
Yep. And think of how easy it is to create also. I mean, look at a fiction product. If you're going to write a novel or something like that, you might spend months putting that together. Now let's look at a nonfiction course, right? Something that is, how to do this or how to do that, right? I just had one created. I paid a lady a couple $100, and she did it for me in 4 days. That product I could make 6 figures with, right? Versus if I was, creating some kind of a fiction story, it would take me months and months of work to put it together, make sure it's right, re-edit, and then hope somebody even likes the story. They may not even like it.
Right.
But when you look at, the kind of content we're creating, we're looking at content that people are already looking for. It's much easier to go to someone and say, hey, you were looking for this, pay me and I'll give it to you, versus, hey, I got my story here, maybe you might like it, can you read it and pay me for it? They don't even know who I am. So much easier to do, much quicker to get to market also when we talk about this kind of content.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I think for authors who are doing fiction, they have to build up the audience who loves them and who loves that, and that's hard. Yeah, it is harder to do. I mean, it's doable, but if you want to be making money quickly, bring them what they want.
Yep, we were both at the event this weekend, and there was someone I was talking to who she has a book that she wrote. She's got a couple series of books, and they're romance books, and so they're more novels. So she's actually marketing her book right now, and she was showing me her calendar. She came from Houston on Saturday. She's going to Austin on Monday. Then she had to go to New York. Then she had to fly to New Jersey. Then she was showing me just this month alone, she's got to be in like 8 different states promoting the book. And I'm thinking, how many sales did you make so far? Oh, we probably made 100 or so sales, but I'm getting the recognition. And I'm thinking, man, I did that today while I was here at the event on Amazon. So as hard as she had to work, I was at an event hanging out with my friends and made more money than she did flying all over the place.
Right, and that's
so
terribly
much easier to
expensive.
market something that people are already looking for than what she has to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So tell us a bit about the Amazon opportunity. Is it a trend? Is it growing? Is it huge? Obviously it's huge, but tell it. What are your thoughts on the opportunity for what you're doing?
Well, first of all, information has been sold for millions of years, and information will continue to sell for millions of years. People, you need information, whether it's how to install your toilet or how to fix a dead car battery. People are always going to look and search for information. Now, when you look at Amazon and look at Kindle, look at the book category, they have millions of titles that are in the information space, but very few that are repurposed the way that we're doing it. So the opportunity is massive. There are millions of titles and categories that you can create in. Even if you look at categories like weight loss, which people would think is a saturated market, there's hundreds of thousands of different titles that you can create in markets like that. And as more and more people get more and more devices, more and more computers, more and more tablet PCs, that means there's more and more people coming into the market looking for different solutions. I mean, look at how big YouTube has gotten, right? Let's look at ClickBank. Let's look at how many sales a property like ClickBank is making, and all they sell is information. Look at Udemy, which came up in the last 2-3 years. Look at how big they've become, and all they sell is information. That's it. So information is here to stay. We're just taking it to a different medium. That's all we're doing.
Mm-hmm. So how does the customer find your products, though, to buy? So, for example, if I go to Amazon, I can do. Is it just from? So they might be thinking they're looking for a book, or what are they looking for? Because you don't normally think that you're going to find CDs and things to teach you something on Amazon.
Right. So one of the challenges with marketers and consumers is there's a disconnect. Consumers search for a solution. They don't know, they go in and they type in, my back hurts.
Right.
They don't know what they're looking for. They're looking for a solution. Most marketers sell a product. They don't think about the solution. So with that is the disconnect, but that's also the opportunity. So when you create your listing, you have to think about what the consumer is looking for and use keywords the consumer would use. Don't use keywords as the owner of the product. So most people would come in and they'd say, they sell a CD or they sell a chair, but the consumer says how to get rid of back pain. So you've got to think keyword based and look for the keywords that other people aren't using on Amazon. So you find your keywords that you want to rank for and say, okay, are a lot of people using this keyword? And if a lot of them are, get another keyword. But when you find the ones that a lot of people are not using, you know what happens? You rank very quick on Amazon. That's one of the biggest secrets I have with that is you've got to pick the keywords that a lot of your competitors aren't using, and you will rank really quick.
And how do you know though, that people are looking for that? Because this is the opposite advice you gave for coming up with topics, right? You were like, look for what other people are doing. So how do you know that these are keywords that people are searching for?
Google AdWords. You go on a Google account, and you just type in that keyword and let Google tell you they're looking for it.
Okay.
Then you take those keywords and then you go into Amazon and you see how many of my competitors are using this keyword.
And that makes sense, right? Because on Google, you don't want to use those keywords because those are people who are looking for websites to tell them that information for free. But if on Amazon they're searching for that, they're looking for a product,
Yep.
right? Aha!
You don't go to Amazon to window shop, you go to buy.
Right.
Yeah. And that brings me to something that Kevin Nation said at the Mayhem event, Marketing Mayhem recently, is you want to tap into the underlying reason why people are buying products and put yourself in the shoes of the customer rather than try to just sell features of a product. You want to find the reason. So he gave the example of a guy who has his high school prom coming up, 25, not high school prom, high school reunion, 25-year high school reunion,
Yep.
and he still remembers a girl named Becky who turned him down for a date, turned him down for a prom date in 12 months. Right? So if you're trying to sell him a product, you might tell him that, he needs to lose weight, get in shape, get a six-pack abs, and he's like, yeah, I don't care about that. You might tell him, like, he needs to get healthy and all this stuff. Yeah, I don't care about that. But if you tell him, like, you need to impress Becky to the point where you're walking in that door and she sees you and she's so jealous that she's going to have to think about you for the next 25 years because she's so disappointed in herself for turning you down for that date. And you're saying to yourself, look at me now, Becky. That's the underlying reason why he's buying the product about six-pack abs or buying the product about like getting in shape or something like that. It's the underlying motivation behind why people buy. As spiteful as it might seem.
Listen, I call it mindset marketing, and that's probably one of the things that has gotten me the most success on Google AdWords. The most important question you can ask in marketing is why. Why is someone buying this product? A good example is if you go into Google and you type in ergonomic chair, right? Why does someone want an ergonomic chair? It's for back issues. But if you look at every person who's advertising an ergonomic chair, their ads say, we've got them on sale, discount, great selection. They're not going to look for an ergonomic chair because of a great selection or because of a discount. Where's the ad that says, get rid of your back pain with this ergonomic chair? So the why question in marketing is the absolute most powerful thing you can ask, because then you can find all the angles and opportunities to sell your product. And most people just don't ask that question.
For sure. So what do you think about that, Alice?
What do I think about that? I think that's true. It's very good. So you were also going to tell us, Greg, back to like the niche research, we were going to talk about evergreen versus non-evergreen topics and what your thoughts were on that.
Okay, great. So evergreen is the way to go. I've got a product right now that we sell, and I have not changed one word of that product since 2003. Now, if I create a course, how to sell on Facebook, guess what? I need to change it every 3 weeks.
Ron knows that.
Because, right? Facebook changes their algorithm every other week. If I do a course, how to do SEO, guess what? Google has a new animal they slaughtered every other week. But if I do a course on how to fall in love, that course will be the exact same thing for the next 100 years.
Right.
Right? Because you don't change how you love someone.
But
so
what about
if you go into evergreen markets, not that you ignore non-evergreen, it's just that it's a whole lot less work in an evergreen market, because once it's working, it's there. You never have to change anything. So think about all the courses years ago that were on MySpace, right? Where is MySpace now? Right? So you might have had a really good business 5 years ago, but you're completely out of business today.
Yeah, you'd have to keep looking for those hot topics coming up. But I mean, there's some good parts to that too. If it is a hot topic, then you're going to probably make more sales in a shorter amount of time.
Yes.
But yeah, you have to keep working at it.
Yeah. Those will be your short-term gains. So you have your short-term strategies, whatever is hot now, but your long-term strategy is, what's the thing that's going to keep people buying for a long time without me having to do much work?
Right. What about seasonal stuff? So it's still kind of evergreen, but it's, for Christmas or something, it becomes popular again once per year or something like that.
Yeah, seasonal stuff is good. I was just talking with a good friend of mine, and she had a product that she launched right by the Christmas season. And I mean, she had one day she did almost $6,000 in sales, which is great. But right now, she's making zero because it's not the Christmas season.
Yeah.
So seasonal stuff is great, and there are some things that you'll want to take advantage of. But just know, it's feast or famine. During Christmas, you're making a lot of money. During Valentine, you're making a lot of money. After Valentine, it's done until next January. So again, you don't ignore those. It's just you've got to have a strategy for when that season is out of season, so you can also make money then as well.
Right, and you're talking about, I mean, the way you make your products, it's not a huge time investment into making each one. What's I know you're going to tell us more about the process tonight, but just sort of briefly, maybe, what do you do to put a product together?
I've got some that my personal time was probably 2 to 3 hours in time. Now I'm outsourcing a lot of things. So I've got someone who recently wrote me a piece of content. I told you guys it took about 4 or 5 days to do. I paid a few hundred for that. I've got another piece of content. I paid someone $142 to create for me. There's something that we look at which are called quick study guides and cheat sheets and things like that. I mean, I could pay someone $50 and have that created. So my time would be, the 10 or 15 minutes it takes to find and hire someone. It may take them an hour or two to put it together, and I pay $50 for it. So time-wise, that's the other beauty about selling information. You don't need a lot of time. It's not like a traditional business where you need hours and hours of full-time work. This is a couple hours and you're in business.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So what are your expectations? Like, how big do you want to grow this business? Like, where do you see it in the next 3 to 5 years or so if you keep at it?
My goal is in the next 12 to 15 months is get it to 100K per month.
Mm.
And to tell you the truth, I only need about 10 products to do that.
And I imagine the profit margin is huge, though, right? Like, what would you say your profit margin is?
I'll give you an example. There's one product we're looking at right now. Now, this one is just going to be a CD. It's not even going to be a kit for this particular product. Cost per sale is going to be about $1 to $1.20. The 2 or 3 other people who are in that space right now are selling their CDs between $50 and $97. So I'm going to have to pay Amazon probably $8 or $9 plus my $1 to $1.20 in cost. So it's going to be about $80-something in profit for that particular product.
Wow, that's what's up. Yeah, that's better than most e-commerce businesses where they have to actually go out and buy products wholesale. You're just like kind of putting together digital media on, in a different format. Nice.
And the crazy thing is, there are people in this space on Kindle. Matter of fact, I had a book on Kindle in the exact same topic. I'm telling you, I struggled at $4.99 to get sales. I mean, I made sales, but it was, $20, $30 a month at $4.99 on Kindle. Here, people are selling them at $97 in the CD format. All they did was change the format.
Mm.
Yeah. So do you do anything to get these customers that buy from Amazon onto a list or follow up with them in any way, or?
Yes, there's a couple things that we do, and there are some ways to do it where it's ethical inside of Amazon's terms of service. So Amazon doesn't want you to just poach their list and start selling stuff, right? So how do you do it? Think about if you were going to create a course on list building, right? So you create a course on list building. Let's say it's in a book format, right? Can you teach list building and not say to them, hey, you got to go to Aweber and get an Aweber account or GetResponse or something like that? It's impossible, right? Can you create a course on, restaurants and not say you got to go to Chili's or go to here? So what you do is you make your additional offers part of the content. So in other words, if you're doing a course on internet marketing, let's say, and then you have a secondary course on list building that you want to sell, you say, okay, now, if you're going to do internet marketing, you need to build a list. Now, here's some strategies for building a list. By the way, if you want to get more information on list building, there's a webinar next Thursday on list building. You may want to go check that out. And what is that? A link that you'll put in your course or a website where you say go there and register. So what you're doing is you're making recommendations, as would you see in any book that's out there or any course that's out there. It just so happens the recommendations you're making, you own those properties.
Right.
That's how I would do it.
Yeah, so I'm definitely excited, man, about seeing your presentation tonight on the webinar. So tell us one thing about the webinar that we can look forward to learning or being able to do after watching your presentation later on.
Yeah, I think people are going to be, when we talk about the 6 steps, it's just how easy the process is. And then I'm going to show about creating your listings. And I'm going to really explain, they'll really get the Amazon algorithm and what it takes to rank. So people will love it.
Awesome, awesome. Looking forward to it. Any last words you'd like to say to anybody watching? Yeah,
absolutely. Amazon for me right now, and the amount of sales we make, which is anywhere from $13,000 to $14,000 a month now, for something that I work just a handful of hours a month and just started a year ago. Every single day I have to pinch myself. And I was talking to someone the other day, and I said, and you know what's funny? It's my side money. That's not even my full-time gig. I still consult and work with people. I still have my ads up on Google and YouTube, and I'm still selling my other courses and stuff like that. So imagine having that kind of money as your side money. And so I have to pinch myself every day. And I tell people, even though I don't do much, it's not get rich quick. And the reason is because I partnered with a company that's doing all of the work, and that company is Amazon, right? You're not partnering with Greg Cesar. I'm just teaching you how to do it. You're partnering with an organization which is a Amazon spent just $5 billion just on shipping last year. So you're partnering with a company that knows how to sell, and they don't sell any of their own stuff. They sell other people's stuff. They're literally begging us for things that we can put in their marketplace. So it's a great opportunity. I don't think we're ever going to see something like this again in our lifetime.
Yeah, it sounds like a huge opportunity, especially for someone just looking to do something part-time. Like you said, this is your side business. You don't have to quit your job, your day job, to do this, and you can make a nice recurring income stream. And you're going to show people how to make $3,000 a month recurring passively just from income from Amazon. And just think of what you can do. $3,000 extra a month. That's a very nice vacation every month if you wanted to. That's a car payment. That's a mortgage payment. I mean, that'd be a very nice car payment, right? A mortgage payment. I
don't know what kind of car Ron drives.
That'd be college tuition. That'll help you get out of debt. So just learning how to do this is going to be life impacting, life changing for a lot of people. And I look forward to tonight and hearing you go into detail and actually showing your screen and showing all the ways and showing your system in detail tonight. So
awesome.
Any last words, Alex? Any last words?
That was for me. No, I look forward to tonight. I'm going to be writing down notes and stuff too, because this sounds terribly interesting to me. I haven't gotten into Kindle because I don't like to sell things for a few bucks a pop, and this seems more, this seems more interesting, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thank you, Greg Cesar, man. This guy, he's really modest about it, but this guy has made millions online. He's been doing it longer than me, and I'm old as hell, but he's been doing it even longer than me, so it tells you how old he is. But he's a real humble guy, but trust me, he's one of the top gurus in this space, and he's one of these guys that are one of the internet marketers' favorite internet marketers to talk to hear speak, to learn from, and I look forward to hearing him tonight. Thank you, Greg Cesar.
Awesome.
All right.
Oop, you cut out. What'd you say?